What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the post-trail rundown podcast. So today it was about getting exactly 1 hour of run time into this run, and it turned out to be almost perfect. So it not perfect in the sense that it went well, because running is running and it is painful and fun and definitely tunes into some of our internal issues, right? So I use it almost as therapy, believe it or not. I think through all my problems. We talked about it the last episode, but this one I wanted to focus more on the pre-run practices, which is your warm-up, your pre-run nutrition, and how much you hydrate before you get ready to do a longer run. And by longer runs, I mean anytime you spend more than 30 to 40 minutes on your feet consistently moving, especially right now, where as soon as I took off, it was already like 80 degrees outside, which I left a little later than I wanted to. I wanted to leave 45 minutes sooner, but had to do some morning stuff. If you're not following the Rogue Methods page on Facebook, I just launched it this morning, and that's what took me 45 minutes to get some little things done and organized, and then I launched it there. So for the last few weeks, my morning practices have been, and if you hear splashing, the little dude's playing in the pool. And in most of my pre-run practices for the last 2 to 3 weeks, so maybe 4 to 5 runs a week, and then in there's like strength training, jiu-jitsu training, and weight training, and whatever else pops up for training. But what I tried to do a few times, I tried a few runs with no warm-up, right? And that's an interesting one because not warming up is a pain for the body, especially the way you run and perform during your run. And then I did a few runs with no pre-run nutrition. Hydration is one of those things I can't really mess with too much because of how hot it is. So I drink at least 4 liters of water. One of those liters has an element pack in there, plus some Celtic salt, and then orange juice, raw milk. I hydrate with those things mostly. Definitely orange juice. I love orange juice. Here and there, one of the Mexican Coca-Colas with cane sugar, that helps as well. But for the mornings, I definitely tried no nutrition in the morning, so just taking off and going with no warm-up. And the runs were sluggish. It took too long to get warm. They weren't pleasant. My breathing was a little bit off. Obviously, hydration was good, so it didn't matter as far as like the sweat exchange goes, but there was a definite impact on the pleasurability of the run when the nutrition and warm-up weren't there. So today, for example, I went for the run, fasted, just drank a little bit of water in the morning and some salt, and then I did a warm-up. So I wanted to see what the warm-up would be like without the nutrition. And the warm-up was good. Obviously, everybody has their own way of warming up, so don't take my warm-ups for whatever they are, but I focus a lot on the ankles, calves, knees, hips, hip rotational stuff, internal, outwards, and making sure that my hips are good and my lower back isn't tight, so releasing the glutes. And then a lot of spine twists and turns, because on the trails you're looking and you're moving and your head's going this way, your foot's going that way, so there's a lot of that going on trail runs. So I made sure that the warm-up was good, but the nutrition wasn't there, and so the initial part of the run was great. But then into maybe mile 3 or 4, hitting some of the uphills, it was like, oh man, it would have been cool if I had, a slice of sourdough with some agave nectar, which tends to be my morning pre-run smash. That or peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something sugary and fast acting so that I have the energy to keep pushing. So today's run, let's check it out. Let's see what we did. So we did 5.97 miles, roughly 6. It was an hour of a run at a pace of 10.04. So it was exactly what I thought it was going to be at a 10-minute mile. We climbed, let's see what we did as far as climb goes. So we're in here. We did decent heart rate too. So my average heart rate for this one, because of the heat, was 158 with a max of 174. This is not typical. I usually stay in the 40s, but 158 for what it was, it didn't do badly, and I'm not mad at it at all. Let's see, we spent 23 minutes in zone 3, 24 minutes in zone 2, 9 minutes in zone 1, 10-15 seconds in zone 4. So typical stuff there. Power outputs, average power output 330, mostly in zone 1. Elevation gain 561, elevation loss 571. Most of that was in the first 2 miles of a 6-mile run. So not bad. The thresholds for this one, the training effect, all aerobic. So 4.2 for my aerobic, almost nothing for my anaerobic, and then overall load was 164. So not a bad run. Definitely was weird after the climb. Yes, son?
I need my goggles.
Get them, they're right there in the box. And so the climb is really what took effect, and I felt it once I used up all that fast acting energy from whatever I stored the night before. And I think now that I know these things, one, proper sleep is super important. Make sure you're getting at least 6 to 8 hours, whatever your body demands. I like the watches, though they don't tell you everything precisely, they are good gauges for the most part. So you don't have to live through everything the watch tells you, because people get addicted to that kind of information from what I hear. But it is very useful and it's good to have. So try to sleep well, hydrate as much as you can the night before. Somewhat carb load, don't go crazy so that you don't have too much stuff just sitting there too heavy. I try not to eat 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. I think the last meal is like 4 to 5 hours before bedtime, just so everything is pushed out and away or down and away. Wake up, power down some salt water, power down. What else have I been drinking in the morning? I haven't taken in any. I do take a vasodilator with my water in the morning, but I try to do at least 16 ounces of water before I run, a full slice of homemade sourdough, and then agave nectar on top when I do take that. Like I said, today was one of those, let's see what happens without nutrition. And I will say that get up, drink water, eat something even if you don't want to, let that settle. 20-30 minutes later after your warm-up, boom, take off for your run, and you will enjoy the shit out of it way more than you would if you didn't do the warm-up and if you didn't do a nutrition plan in the morning. So for whatever that's worth, I hope that helps you guys out. Thanks for tuning in to episode 2, and we'll see you guys later.